The team's 14-21. You're not going to run away from it. Wondering why. And a lot of it has to do with injuries. What are you seeing thus far this season?
Well, first and foremost, there's nobody more upset and disappointed and frustrated with the season than I am. This isn't a typical Washington Nationals start. We all know the numbers. We're one of the most successful teams in the last 7 seasons. We're, one of the few teams over the last 7 years that have played at a 500 or better level. We've averaged 94 or 5 wins over the last 7 years and won some championships, some division championships. So there's nobody more upset and disappointed than I am. With that said, we've played bad baseball just in general. I think the one bright spot, our big 3 starters have given us a chance to win each and every time out. They've pitched well. They've deserved better fates, but beyond that, the bullpen is obviously it's been poor. The offense after the injuries has been practically non-existent, and most importantly to me, which impacts the starting pitching, the bullpen pitching, is our defense. Our defense has been as bad as I've seen it since I've come to Washington. The defense, and it affects the pitching. The stat for fielding independent pitching, which is a calculation of adds the defensive element into the pitching. Our FIP is middle of the pack, and our ERA is the worst. So it shows the impact that defense has on pitching. And I'm not going to stop believing in this team that has Matt Scherzer and Strasburg and Corbin and Suzuki and Gomes and Rendon and Turner and Soto and Robles. Eaton. This team is just too good, too talented to give up on with 80% of the season. Although disappointed and upset, I still have optimism that we're going to turn this thing around. Rendon came back yesterday, which was a big uplifting day for us. He made some good plays at third base, those are things to come. So. We've got guys coming behind him. Hopefully that we're going to see Juan Soto here maybe towards the end of this road trip. Return to the lineup. Matt Adams shouldn't be too far behind, and Trey Turner has been progressing and improving quite a bit. So. Once we get those guys back, I think that the offense and the defense will stabilize, and I think that we'll really get a gauge on what type of chance and what type of team that we have going forward in the last 80% of the season.
All right. Thank you. Great answer. I'm trying to read between the lines what you said, because last week you said something that we didn't catch at the time, and you said the bullpen obviously wasn't prepared, and you had already decided you were going to move on. I'm sure it was a difficult decision for you.
It was.
Yeah, I don't have any doubt about it. But here's a question. As you know, and you know this, the fans want their pound of flesh too, right? Because they're invested in this. And so,
certainly.
So one thing that's killing them, and I know it's killing you, and there is no doubt about it, that Davey talked to us, you guys talked to us. It was a theme of spring training, the little things. And there's no question in my mind, although I wasn't there to see the workouts, that the spring training workouts were designed around those things, right? Some of the stuff you said is the worst you've seen. It was designed around better defense, hitting cutoff guys, right? Errors, base running mistakes. There's no question about it. It was a point of emphasis. And when it doesn't happen, though, Mike, even though we know Davey knew it was a point of emphasis, but when it doesn't happen, is Davey ultimately responsible for that?
Well, the base running's been really good this year. So we're one of the best base running teams in the game. That's the one positive aspect of the team that we've been really good at. The defense, I think that the defense is it's predicated on who's playing out there. You've got. I think when we're a defense that has our people on the field with Rendon and Turner and Zim at first, I think that's in our 2 catchers. That's a solid defensive infield. But when you lose Rendon, Turner, and Zimmerman, and you've got Howie Kendrick playing first, and you've got Carter Keyboom playing short, and Defoe playing third, or Howie playing third, you've got 3 or 4 people playing out of position. I think that's when it really, the wheels start falling off. It's hard to prepare for those type of scenarios when so many players at so many critical positions get hurt at the same time. Nobody has the depth to account for 4 or 5 starting players out of your 8 to go down, and think that you'll have not only the same offensive capabilities, but often lost in the shuffle is the defensive capabilities, and I think that that's a big aspect of it.
Mike, a lot of the fans we talk to, I mean, I'm going to guess 80%, they just want to see a change at manager. And I know it's your guy. I don't know how to feel about it because I don't know how much control he's got. Is it, when you talk to Davey, is it like a head scratcher to him that all these things are going wrong as well? Or do you when you say that everyone, is to blame, do you put a share of blame on Davey because of these reasons?
Oh, certainly. There's blame to go around when you're playing this poorly. But there's blame on me. There's blame on the players. There's blame on the coaches. There's blame on everybody. It's certainly there's enough to go around. And like I said, I told Barry Saluga of the Washington Post the other day, the players are acquired. I acquire the players. I'm responsible for the players on the field. So if they're underperforming, they're not performing, that's on me. If the bullpen is not if capable of performing, that's on me. So I take that very, very seriously. Mm-hmm. It's the same context when we won 98, 97 games. Ultimately, they have to perform. Now, the manager's role is to manage the team, to manage the clubhouse, to manage 35 personalities, and to put them in the best position to succeed. And I think that Davey has great control of the clubhouse. I think the players play hard for him, and I think that it's very, very hard to make a critique about anybody with the amount of injuries that we've had this season, and the importance of the players that we have had out of the lineup for extended periods of time.
How do you temper your boss's bitterness and dismay with just trying to keep cooler heads and just trying to convince your bosses, specifically the learners, look, it's still early, we're going to get these guys back? Or is it, you feel pressure just like Davey feels pressure, just like the players feel pressure, but that's got to be a tough job too when you're trying to convince your boss, look, there's a reason why this is happening.
Well, I think, they're, like I said, we're complete partners in this, where, there's not a decision that's made in the off season that we're all not involved in. So we're all invested in this. So yeah, they're upset, just like you are and I am and everybody else is, the players are. Yeah, I think they've been in this for a while now. Their 13th year of owning the team. They've been through bad teams before. They've been through great teams before. We've had the bar is really high for baseball in Washington D.C., which is a good thing because it wasn't like that years ago, as you guys know. But they get it, they understand it, and we just have to keep the communication open and have rationales for the decisions that we make, and they have to be in the best interest of the team, and trying to help us win. Our goal, their goal, my goal is to win a championship for Washington D.C. area, and we never waver on that mile marker in that goal. So that's our goal. We're going to keep striving to do it, and I think that with the way the team looks now is does not look good, but hopefully in the next coming days and weeks we'll get our guys back and we can start playing some baseball again.
Joined by Mike Rizzo, President of Baseball Ops and General Manager of the Nationals. Just wanted you to quickly kind of assess Keyboom's stint with the Nationals, what you saw positive, and all of us saw the defense, that there were some struggles in 10 games.
Struggled defensively. His offense was always ahead of his defense. We knew that bringing him up. We brought him up by necessity. But the good thing is he's a young, bright 21-year-old player with a great baseball IQ. He's got crazy good talent and tools, and you know we're the good thing is we got his feet wet. He's been to the big league, so oftentimes the next time you get here, you're not nearly as overwhelmed, and the game slows down quite a bit your second time here. So he's a big part of the future here. He's going to be here for a long time, and we think that he has a good long career as an everyday player for us in the very, very near future, and you know, to me, he's one of the best prospects in the game.
Mike, here's what could turn it around for the Nats if somebody hits for the cycle. Derek B. from Columbia is banking on the cycle tonight with Burke and Herbert Bank. Derek is already taking home a $100 gift card, but if any Washington baseball player hits for the cycle during tonight's game, he also takes home $100,000. Courtesy of Burke and Herbert Bank. Enter for your chance to bank on the cycle during next Wednesday's game. Go to thefandc.com/contest.